Next up is Kristen Gretterson, CEO of Vistim Labs. Vistim is developing a novel and very timely method for the early detection of Alzheimer's disease.
Good morning. My name is Kristen Gretterson. I'm a co-founder of Vistim Labs. Today it's my honor to introduce a novel biomarker for early detection of amyloid beta, or AB. Vistim Labs is a joint effort by Neuromotion and Columbia University. Dementia is a global pandemic with 50 million people suffering from the disease today. Alzheimer's disease, dementia's most common type, has now taken over from cancer as America's most feared disease. The cost of dementia is expected to reach $2 trillion by 2030. There is no cure for the disease, and diagnostics are extremely expensive. Dementia poses a very high burden on family members, carers, as well as healthcare systems. Alzheimer's disease is a uniquely challenging disease with no available cure. 10 to 20 years prior to onset of the clinical disease, a protein called amyloid beta, or A-beta, will start to build up in the brain, causing plaques and ultimately killing brain cells and cause brain failure. Once the disease is finally diagnosed, there's little that can be done except treat the symptoms and watch the disease take its course. For this reason, there's an urgent need to develop new biomarkers for early diagnosis and early detection of the A-beta protein. Detecting amyloid is required to diagnose Alzheimer's disease. This is either done with extraction of cerebral spinal fluid, also referred to as lumbar puncture, which is expensive, highly invasive, and carries a high risk of severe side effects. PET, or positron emission tomography, is a preferred method for A-beta detection, although invasive and extremely costly. The device itself is north of $6 million, and the cost of a single test is more than $6,000 in the private setting. A few days ago, Biogen's Aduhelm attracted world attention as the first new treatment for Alzheimer's disease in over 20 years. Aduhelm received a conditional approval by the FDA and is required to continue clinical research into its safety and efficacy profile. The drug has sparked significant controversy, and as of now, 3 FDA panel members have quit over its approval. This new drug poses significant challenges to the US healthcare system. Patients need a PET test for diagnosis, and the first year cost of diagnosis is $30,000. Furthermore, the annual cost of diagnosis thereafter is estimated at $15,000 per year. This high cost poses a significant challenge to the healthcare systems, as well as Biogen and other pharma companies to follow. As of now, there is no indication that Medicare and Medicaid will approve the use of PET in Alzheimer's diagnostics, making this drug limited to private insurance only. Vistim Labs will introduce a patented EEG-based biomarker for early detection of the A-beta protein. This will allow pharma companies, clinical research organizations, and Alzheimer's research centers to identify those patients who should undergo a PET test. The value proposition here is compelling at a cost of 15 times lower than a PET test. The Vistim biomarker is a non-invasive, affordable, and easy-to-use system. Patients are fitted with a Vistim head cap and then presented a visual stimuli while EEG data is recorded to capture the brain's response to the stimuli. The visual stimuli data, along with the EEG, is automatically analyzed. A report is then generated, showing the likelihood of amyloid positivity. The company's initial market focus will be on meeting the needs of pharma, CROs, and AD researchers. There are 245 ongoing clinical trials in the US alone, where 121 agents are being investigated. Having said this, we realize that there are significant opportunities for our solution in the clinical setting, as well as for at-home monitoring. A companion biomarker for a pharmaceutical agent is also a likely outcome for the purpose of sorting out potential responders versus non-responders. I present here an example of how Vistim will bring value to a clinical trial. Eli Lilly is currently conducting a phase 3 trial on their promising donanemab compound. They aim to recruit 2,500 subjects for their trial. In order to achieve this, they will need to test at least 12,500 subjects to find 2,500 individuals who test positive for A-beta in a PET test. The cost for this task alone is $75 million. Using Vistim to pre-screen subjects for A-beta, the company could save $55 million on PET cost alone. This is a significant and compelling value proposition. The global market for Alzheimer's diagnostic market is extremely large at $6.6 billion. The serviceable market for US alone is also significant at $2.6 billion. Vistim Labs will focus on pharma, CROs, and AD research centers with an estimated serviceable obtainable market size of $500 million. Following success in this area, we will pursue further opportunities in routine clinical diagnosis and at-home monitoring. Neuromotion is an important partner for Vistim Labs. It allows us to capitalize on the company's existing product solutions, including a high-quality EEG system, standardized head caps for easy and consistent application, as well as regulatory approvals. It is also most fortunate for Vistim that Neuromotion had the foresight to engage in a collaboration effort with a leading academic hospital by a world-renowned authority in the field of Alzheimer's and dementia. This project started more than 3 years ago and includes a large dataset containing PET, EEG, and other biomarkers. Data collection is now completed, and the company can make use of this research without delay. Our leadership team, in addition to myself, includes James Hammett, a biotech inventor with experience in EEG, Dr. Frank Sano, CEO of Neuromotion with more than 20 years' experience in neuroscience, and last but not least, Professor Dan Javid, professor at Columbia University. Dr. Javid is the inventor of the Vistim Amyloid detection method. Vistim Labs is seeking $3 million in funding and offering 10% of the company in return. We expect to secure at least $4 million in deals in the next 18 months and to achieve annual revenue of $20 to $40 million over the next 3 to 5 years. For this purpose, we are seeking the $3 million mentioned. Furthermore, we expect the company to achieve a break-even point by end of year 2. The funding will be used as follows: management and R&D 43%, marketing 27%, legal and administration 15%, professional services 12%, equipment 3%. I thank you very much for your attention, and I hope you have enjoyed this presentation. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. You can reach me at kristin.gretarsson@neuromotion.com.